Hello everyone, my name is Quad and in this video I will show you where you can get all the normal Warframes in the game. There is currently, as of update 33, 53 Warframes. And well, they all serve a different purpose. Try to imagine them as tools you can take into your missions. Some are great for defense missions, some are great for support gameplay, and some are destined to collect dust. It all depends on your opinion. In this video I will first show you and tell you how to get each Warframe, and I will also share my opinion on how hard it is to get them, like easy, medium, hard or a nightmare, depending on different factors like how much time it takes to farm them up and how hard it is to farm up the resources for them. When it comes to getting Warframes, you need a few things. Warframe slots, which you can only get by doing Nightwave missions as one of the rewards, and you can also buy them with Platinum. And yeah, this is actually the thing you should invest in as a starter. Warframe slots and weapon slots. But anyway, each Warframe requires you to be crafted in the foundry for 3 days, and for it you will need a Warframe blueprint, neuroptics, systems, and a chassis. The latter three are also called Warframe components, so I will usually say that when it comes to farming all of them together. And yes, they also have to be crafted. But yeah, with this I think I covered most of the basics, but I also need to mention that you can also get most of the Warframes through the circuit, access to which you will get by completing the Duviri Paradox quest. If you can get the Warframe through it, I will have a little symbol somewhere on the screen. But yeah, that is really it. Let's finally go now. First we will go over a group of Warframes you can get by doing assassination missions. Assassination missions are common on every planet, and every assassination mission has a chance to drop the Warframe components, for example chassis, systems and neuroptics, for Mag for example on Phobos by killing the Sergeant. And you will get the component at the end of the mission. But now let's go first with Rhino. Rhino is in my opinion one of the best Warframes for the starters. You get the blueprint for him on the market for 35,000 credits, and the components for him from Fossa Assassination of the Jackal on Venus. You will have to complete the mission about 4 times, maybe a few more to get all the components. As I said, Rhino is amazing Warframe to play with, and in my opinion, it has amazing abilities for starters especially. Iron Skin is absolutely amazing since it gives you quite a lot of defense, and Roar is another ability which can increase your damage output significantly. So yeah, be sure to farm him up. The second Warframe is our best boy Excalibur. It is one of the easiest Warframes to farm. You can get the blueprint for him at the market for 35,000 credits, and the components by assassinating Lieutenant Lech Krill on Mars. In total, you will have to repeat the mission about 4 times, maybe 1 or 2 more. But yeah, farming him up is extremely easy and it doesn't take that long. Excalibur is a very good Warframe that survives a lot of things, and in addition, it also is great for damage control with his second and third ability. Mag is the easiest Warframe to farm ever. You can get the blueprint for her on the market for 25,000 credits and her components from the Sergeant Assassination at Iliad on Phobos. Yeah, you will have to do the mission about 4 times, which is not that hard at all. Really, the Sergeant is very easy to kill. Mag is a Warframe people do not like because they don't know how to play her. Her abilities focus on crowd control, armor stripping, and damage to a specific point, which is absolutely amazing. She may not be the best Warframe for the beginner stage of the game, but when you get the better mods and unlock better abilities, Mag becomes such a delight to play. The next Warframe is Frost. You can get his blueprint for 25,000 credits on the market, and later you can get the components for him on Ceres Assassination mission on Captain War and Lieutenant Lech Krill. The mission is extremely easy and you will only have to do it about 4 times, maybe a couple more. Frost is a Warframe that is not that good in my opinion, but it will carry you through the whole star chart easily. Frost is the Warframe that I use to get all the way to Sarin, and he can easily do every single mission alone due to his crowd control abilities and defensive abilities. He can make a snow globe that will defend the defense objective, at least for the, well, lower levels of Warframe. And yeah, let's continue to the next one. The best Warframe in the game's blueprint can be found and bought on the market for 50,000 credits. I'm of course talking about Hydroid. The components for him can in addition be obtained by assassinating Counselor Vayhek at Uro on Earth. The assassination is okay, it's not that bad and the drop chances are good. You will have to complete the mission about 4 times, maybe a few more, but yeah. Hydroid is currently one of the lost Warframes to the past. He is not that good in any way possible. He has bad abilities, like, to extreme, but he does make a good cosplay of Davy Jones. I will give him that. Let's continue. Valkyrie is the next Warframe, blueprint for which can be obtained from the market for 35,000 credits. And you may get all her components by assassinating Aladvi and his Zanuka on Jupiter. You will have to kill him about 4 times, maybe more, to get every single thing. Valkyrie's abilities are all focused on melee play, and she has a lot of survivability because she has a massive amount of armor. I myself don't really play her that much because I don't like the melee gameplay, but if you're like playing as a cat, then go for it. The next Warframe is Ember, and Ember is probably one of the staples of Warframe and is quite easy to farm. You can get the blueprint for her on the market for 25,000 credits and all her components by assassinating General Sargus Rook on Saturn. The assassination is easy except maybe the first time around, but when compared to other grinds, it is the easiest and quickest if you ask me. Ember's abilities mainly focus on fire damage and crowd control. She's not that commonly used, but it is the best Warframe probably to use in low-level exterminate missions, because you just need to press a button and everything will die around you. The next Warframe. Nova is one of the most useful Warframes in the game in my opinion. You can get her blueprint at the market for 35,000 credits, and her components by killing the raptor at Nama on Europa about 4 times, maybe a few more to get everything. It is quite easy to farm up. Nova is extremely good because of her 4th ability. With it, Nova can 1. Slow down enemies or make them faster, which depends on the circumstances, and the second one, all the enemies affected by the 4th ability will take increased damage. She is always amazing to have on a survival or a defense that is higher levels and when you're playing with lower level players. So let's continue to the next Warframe. Necros is one of the best farming Warframes out there. You can get his blueprint at the market for 100,000 credits, and his components by doing the Lephantis assassination mission on Deimos at Magnesidium. You will have to do the assassination about 4 times, so it is not that hard to get him, it is actually quite easy. Necros is one of the best Warframes to farm with, at least the star chart resources like Ferrite, New Roads, Tellurium and stuff like that, because of his ability called Desecrate. This ability will give you additional loot from all the corpses you already killed, and it can also be enhanced by an augment mod called Despoil, which will use your health instead of energy, and with this you'll be able to get a lot more loot. And yeah, he is also great for armor stripping enemies, which is absolutely amazing at any level, but yeah, let's continue now. Equinox is one of the most infuriating Warframes to farm since you'll just be defeated no matter what you do. You can get the blueprint for him at the market for 25,000 credits, and you can get his components by doing the Teal Regor assassination mission on Uranus. The catch here is that there are not 3 components, but 8 in total. If you're extremely lucky, you will get every component in 8 attempts, since all of them have about the same drop chance, but you will not, let's be real. I will say that farming Equinox is a nightmare, and I think the Warframe community will agree. He is an interesting Warframe to play as since he has 4 abilities, and he's probably the best one to take on stealth missions and also as a nuker. He can deal so much damage, it is insane. But yeah, let's continue now. The next on the list is Loki, and he is very easy to get. You can get his blueprint at the market for 35,000 credits, and the components by assassinating the Hyena pack at Xanth on Neptune. You will have to repeat the assassination mission about 4 times to get everything, and yeah, that is really it. Loki's abilities focus on crowd control and stealth, and damn it, he is very good at stealth. He is one of the Warframes that is the best, absolute best, at doing spy missions, right behind Evare. Let's continue to the next one. Sarin is known as one of the best nukers, at least for the starting levels. You can buy her blueprint from the market for 35,000 credits, and you can farm her components by assassinating Kiela the Thame at Harrow on Sedna. You will need to assassinate her about 4 times to get everything. This one takes a bit longer to farm up though, since you need the judgment points to even get access into her mission, so yeah, just a bit more time to farm her up. As I said, Sarin is an amazing Warframe to nuke levels with, and also she has an amazing ability that will destroy every single thing in Steel Pass Survivals, that being the harder difficulty of Warframe. So yeah, I recommend getting her. The next Warframe is Trinity, one of the best support Warframes in the game. You can get her blueprint from the market for 25,000 credits and her components from Ambula's Bursa assassination at Hades on Pluto. Now we will have to kill Ambula's Bursa about 4 times, maybe more, and for each assassination you will need Ambula's nav coordinates, which are a pain to farm. Anyways, I'd say the grind is okay at the end. But if I have to say a few words about Trinity, I think Trinity is one of the best support Warframes because of 2 specific abilities. The 4th ability will heal every single Warframe in a specific range and will also recharge their shields, and one of the abilities, called Energy Vampire, will replenish the energy of all surrounding Warframes. So yeah, they can use their abilities more often. I think this is absolutely amazing. And the next Warframe is Wisp, probably the best support Warframe in the game at the moment. And the community really loves her assets. You can get everything from the blueprint to components from Ropal Low-List Assassination on Jupiter. If you do not have the note unlocked yet, don't worry, you will unlock it after you go to Pluto, I think. It is easy to farm though, and it will also get you some amalgam mods, which are absolutely amazing. Her abilities increase everything for all the allies. Increased fire rate, increased health regeneration, increased crowd control, everything. So yeah, one of the best. And the last Warframe you can get by doing assassinations is Nyx. Nyx is slightly more unique Warframe to farm. You can get her Warframe blueprint from the market for 25,000 credits and her components from 4 assassination missions. This mission type only appears in infested outbreaks as assassination, It is very easy to find though, since it usually is present, and yeah, you will have to kill him about 4 times, maybe 5 or 6 to get every single component. Nyx is a Warframe that excels in crowd control. She is absolutely amazing and, in my opinion, the best. But yeah, we've gone over every single Warframe you can get through assassination missions. Now let's go to the ones that require you to first do a quest and then some missions, or the ones that require you to do endless missions and stuff like that, and other things. But yeah, let's start with the first one, Atlas. You will get the blueprint for Atlas by completing the Jordas Precept quest, and later the components from his assassination on Iras. The mission is not that hard and can be completed solo, and it will take you about 8 attempts to get everything. I mean, Atlas is a fun Warframe to play around with, and it is great solo Warframe. It is very easy to get, you just need to repeat an easy mission about 12 times. In addition, you can get his blueprint again from Cephalon Samaris for 50,000 Samaris standing, which is not fun. I'd say farming him up first time is easy, and the second time a living nightmare. But yeah, Warframes such as Atlas is a good solo Warframe, I would say. He is not that amazing to play in my opinion, but he does have his golems. Those are nice. But yeah, let's continue now to the next Warframe, Iras, which is probably one of the most vanilla Warframes you can choose to play. If you're a person who wants to struggle with crowd control, you should get him. You can get the blueprint and components for him by completing the Sands of Inaros quest, which you can buy from Barrow-Ketir once he comes around for 100 Orokin ducats and 25,000 credits. It is really not that expensive. However, if you want to refarm him, you will have to waste a massive amount of Samaris standing. I'm not sure I can say out loud. 75,000 Samaris standing. It's truly too expensive. But anyways, Iras is a Warframe that doesn't really have good abilities, but with him you can really challenge yourself. He is a fun Warframe to play with if you really want to be masochistic or don't want to die. He has a massive health pool. Harrow. Harrow was in the past one of the most harrowing Warframes to farm, and now he is just a little bit less of a pain. To get his blueprint, you will first need to complete the Chains of Harrow quest, and to get the components, you will have to play Defection on Phobos, Saturn, and Neptune. The drop chance is about 15% on rotation C, so you will have to complete the mission about 6 or 7 times. In addition, you can get the systems by playing Kuva Survival at rotation C, so 20 minutes for about a 12% chance to get, which means about 8 plays. The Neuroptics also come from Kuva Survival with the same chance as the systems, but you can also get them by doing spy missions at Kuva Fortress, from the first vault, which you will have to do about 5 times. And oh yeah, the chassis. You already got like 100 of those, don't worry. Yeah, it is harrowing to get him. In reality, Harrow is a great Warframe for crowd control and energy regeneration for yourself and the teammates, so yeah, he is quite good. The next Warframe is Mesa, and Mesa is a Warframe that most players have a power surge on. You can get her blueprint from the market for 30,000 credits and her components by completing the Patient Zero quest and doing missions on Mutalist Alad V on Iras. Now, this mission requires you to have Alad V assassination keys, which require Mutalist Alad V NAP coordinates to be crafted. These things are hard to get, but you can get them by completing 3 infested outbreak missions for either the Corpus or the Grenier. It is a reward for those. You will have to complete the assassination of Mutalist Alad V about 4 times, and sadly maybe more. Yeah, this one takes a very long time, but Mesa is one of the best nuker Warframes out there. Really, if you want to clear a defense mission solo on the hardest difficulty of Warframe, you will take Mesa and you will shred every single thing. Octavia is one of the most OP Warframes you can use in the game at the moment, if you ask me. You will get her blueprint by completing the Octavia's Anthem quest, but when it comes to the components, it is a bit more complicated. You can get the chassis blueprint by completing the puzzle at the very specific room on Lua. I won't show you how to do the puzzle since I think you are smart enough to do it, but anyways, once you do it, a crate will spawn on top of the room with the chassis blueprint. The systems blueprint for Octavia comes from the hidden caches on Lua Exterminate missions. You only need to get one at least for 25% chance to get the systems blueprint. If you get more, the chance will not increase, you will only have a 22% chance. So yeah, you will have to repeat the mission about 5 times or more. And the last, the Neuroptics blueprint, come as a C-rotation reward from Deimos Terror Reign Survival. The drop chance is the same as systems, so yeah, about 5 times to get it. If you want to get the blueprint the second time though, you need to buy it from Cephalon Semaris for 50,000 standing, and in addition, you'll also need another Manticore, also from Semaris, for 25,000 standing. Yeah, this one is quite grindy and expensive the second time around. Octavia excels in crowd control and damaging the crowd at the same time. So yeah, she is absolutely amazing in any mission, especially survival missions. But yeah, if we continue, the next one is Nidus, a very unique Warframe blueprint for which you can get by completing the Glass Gambit quest. In addition, you can get his component by completing Rotation C of Infested Salvage or Estros on Iras. The mission is quite long and hard to do solo, but luckily the farming will only take you about 6 tries to get everything on Rotation C. Or well, more if unlucky. It is a very time-consuming Warframe to farm. Nidus is one of the most survivable Warframes that focuses on crowd control, and he also has no shields, but he has a massive energy regeneration. Protea is hard Warframe to get since most people just stop giving a damn halfway through farming her. You will get her blueprint by completing the Deadlock Protocol quest, and when it comes to her components, you will get them by completing all 3 tiers of the Granum Void, about 9 times each. So yeah, quite grindy. It truly is a nightmare to farm her. On the contrary though, once you do have her, she will be one of your most played Warframes, at least in my opinion. She has very good, very powerful abilities in any mission, and yeah, she does a lot of damage. But yeah, let's continue to the next Warframe, Coolervo. He is a Warframe that you can only get by playing the Doviri during the Anger, Sorrow and Fear spirals. He will be present at Coolervo's Hold. To get the blueprints for him and his components, you will have to annihilate him, complete your bounty, and bring what you got back to Arcritis, a merchant of the Doviri. She can exchange Coolervo's Bane for his components. The grind is quite tedious and long, especially if you play during the spirals he doesn't appear in. Yeah, it will take you a long time, taking about like 4 hours of playtime if you are playing chill and are lucky with the spirals. But when it comes to his gameplay, he is probably the best melee Warframe out there. He can get so much overguard, which is additional armor, he is unkillable. Like literally unkillable. So yeah, I recommend getting him and trying him out. And now the next Warframe is Volban, or if you actually want to say his name right, Warframe. I'm very sorry for every French speaker who had to hear this, but yeah. You can get his blueprint for 35,000 credits. And the components, on the other hand, can be obtained from the Nightwave offerings for 75 Nightwave credits in total. This is not a lot of credits and you can easily get in by just playing the game. When it comes to gameplay, Volban or Warframe is amazing, absolutely amazing at crowd control because, yeah, he can just annihilate everything and suck him up in a big black hole. Or white hole. Don't make white holes. Don't. Okay, the next batch of Warframes are a group of Warframes that can only be obtained by doing endless missions through rotation rewards. If you don't know what rotations are, they are pretty much the rewards you get. For example, there is 3 kinds, A, B and C rotations. On A rotations you get A kind rewards, on B rotations you get B kind rewards, and on C, well, you get C kind rewards. In an endless mission, A reward is always the first and the second reward you get, and B reward is the third reward, and the C reward is the fourth reward. If I give you the defense mission for an example, a rotation A reward will be given to you at 5 waves and 10 waves, rotation B reward at 15 waves, and rotation C reward at 20 waves. And after that, it will all repeat over, so again 2 A rewards, 1 B and 1 C. But yeah, I think that is it now. Evare is a Warframe that is easy to get, you just need to be good at spy missions. You can get her components and her blueprint as a C reward, so getting all 3 vaults open in spy missions at specific planets. For the systems, you will either need to complete spy missions on Earth, Venus, Mercury or Mars and Phobos. For the chassis, you will have to complete spy missions on Ceres, Jupiter, Europa, Saturn and Lua. And for neuroptics and the blueprint, you will have to complete spy missions on Uranus, Neptune, Pluto or Sedna. This might seem like a lot of work, and it is, but it is not such a nightmare to farm her up. And I'd say you can probably get all the blueprints by not even going for them. Evare is a Warframe that has many good stealth skills and also is able to, well, loot things much easier, so you get more loot, which is absolutely amazing. But yeah, if you need a Warframe to play spy missions with, Evare is your girl. Citrine is a Warframe you can only farm up at one specific mission. That mission is Mirror Defense Diana Pass on Mars. But to unlock it, you will first need to complete the Heart of Deimos quest. To get all the components for Citrine and her blueprint, you will need to complete the mission about 16 times to rotation C, so you will have to defend the crystal for about 25 minutes each rotation. During you playing this, you will also get Belric and Rania crystals, which can be exchanged for Citrine components with Otak at Necrolis on Deimos. But I do not recommend it, unless you really want her. It is a nightmare to farm her up because of this, it takes so long. When it comes to gameplay, Citrine is an amazing support Warframe. She can boost ally armor and does defense, and also gives them energy and health, plus increased status chance, status damage duration, and stuff like that. Like, there is a lot of buffs there, so I recommend getting her. But yeah, let's continue to the next Warframe. Gaus is one of the most beloved Warframes in the community, and in reality, I am afraid to ask why. You can get the blueprint for him from the market for 30,000 credits, and the components from Kappa Disruption on Sedna. The chance to get the components is about 8%, so you will have to complete the mission about 12 times. The components only drop on rotation C, so they will start to drop only after the first rotation you do, if you manage to defend all the conduits, because if you don't know, the rotations work a bit differently with Disruption, but to keep it simple, if you defend all the conduits, you will always be able to get Gaus components. In reality, farming Gaus is quite easy, just maybe a bit time consuming. When it comes to his gameplay, he can run fast. I really don't know what people see in him, I really don't, but anyways, if we have any Gaus mains here, let me know, because I am clueless. And don't worry, I don't like Volt as well. Quora Warframe is one of the community's favorites, and it is quite a nightmare to farm up because it takes so goddamn long to gather. You can gather from the normal Sanctuary Onslaught, you can get the chassis on rotation A, Neuroptics on rotation B, and the systems and blueprint on rotation C. You'll have to play the Sanctuary Onslaught about 12 times to rotation C, so yeah, a lot of freaking time. It is a nightmare, but it is worth it at the end. Quora is known to be one of the best loot frames, on par with Necros in my opinion, and she also has amazing offensive and defensive abilities. All around great warframe. But yeah, let's continue now to the last one in this section. Varuna can only be acquired from the Conjunction Survival on Lua. You can get all the components and her blueprint as a rotation C reward, so every 20 minutes. On the Uvarium node you will have to do it about 21 times, so 21 times 20 minutes to get everything, and on Circulus node you will have to do about 12 tries. So if you're trying together, the grind is quite long. You can also use the Luathrax Plasm you farm through these missions to buy the components for Varuna at Archimedean Yonta on Zariman, but yeah, that is quite a far way ahead. Varuna is an amazing looking Warframe that focuses on survivability and melee damage. She does a lot of freaking melee damage and also has amazing abilities, so I truly recommend you get her at least once. But anyways, let's now continue to the next set of Warframes that you can get by playing Railjack. You can get components for Ash from specific Railjack missions as rotation A reward. The system's blueprint comes from encircled missions around Venus, the Neuroptics blueprint comes from the encircled missions around Neptune, and the chassis blueprint comes from the encircled missions around Pluto. With this one, I recommend you do endless missions such as survival or defense, since the drop chance is almost 3 times higher than the exterminate and volatile missions. You will still have to do the missions approximately 7 times though, which is a nightmare to farm. But yeah, you may get Ash by just playing the game as well, but that chance is quite low. When it comes to gameplay and Ash, Ash is an amazing stealth warframe that has such a huge damage potential, and people often use him on disruption missions because he can destroy the carriers. He can just annihilate them. Oh yeah, and he is very good at crowd control. So yeah, Oberon is a pain in the ass to farm. You can get his blueprint from the market for 30,000 credits, and his components from different points of interest around different Proximas. The points of interest are present in every mission and are an additional objective. You have a 10% chance to get the thing you want from them, the Oberon systems and Neuroptics from Earth Proxima point of interest, and chassis from the Saturn Proxima point of interest. Luckily, you can do the points of interest by just completing the mission, and getting them is quite easy, so yeah, I would say it's not that hard, it just takes a long time to get everything, and if you want to see something funny, just look at this. Veterans will understand. And when it comes to gameplay and Oberon, Oberon is a healer warframe, kind of, but he sucks at it, and he is primarily used as crowd control. Nothing else. The next Warframe is Sevagoth. He can be farmed up by doing a quest called the Call of the Tempestari, with which you will get his blueprint. After you get that, you will also be able to do Void Storms, which are a bit harder missions for Eljack. By completing the Void Storms around Neptune, Pluto and Red Veil, you will be able to get all his components with a 10% drop chance, so yeah, you will need to complete around 10 missions of Void Storms, or more if you're unlucky. Sevagoth is a Warframe I don't really play. I only got him and then leveled him up and never touched. And I rarely hear things about him, but when I do hear them, I know that the community members that use him a lot, who main him, are really fond of him, and they play him a lot. So if there's a Sevagoth main out there, please tell me why you play him. I really want to know and actually play him a bit. But yeah, that is it about the Railjack Warframes, and now let's go to the next set of Warframes, and that is Bounty Warframes. You're able to get Gara blueprint by completing the Saya's Vigil quest on Earth. Additionally, the components can be acquired by doing the Plains of Eidolon bounties on Earth. Also, Chassis blueprint can be obtained from Tier 1 bounties, Systems blueprint from Tier 2 bounties, and Neuroptics blueprint from Tier 3 bounties. You will have to complete each tier of bounty around 4 times, which is quite a lot, but I would argue that it is not that bad since you'll also get many resources and Ostra standing, which might soothe the pain of the grind just a little bit. I would classify farming Gara as a normal level grind, unless you need to get her blueprint again, which you can only get from Semaris for 50,000 standing at any relay. But anyway, Gara is one of the best defense Warframes out there, because she can easily crowd control enemies and defend the objective at the same time. Absolutely amazing. But yeah, if we continue to the next Warframe, Revenant. Revenant can also be obtained in a very similar way to Gara. You first need to complete the quest called Mask of the Revenant, and then you need to do bounties again on the Plains of Eidolon. Tier 3 bounties can give you the systems, Tier 4 for chassis, and Tier 5 for neuroptics. In addition, you also need 50,000 Semaris standing to get his blueprint again from Semaris, which is absolutely a pain in the ass. But yeah, you will have to complete the bounties about 4 times on each tier, so it's not that bad. Revenant is a Warframe that focuses on survivability and crowd control, plus he can do a lot of freaking damage, so he's also a nuker. He is a very fun Warframe to play with, and a lot of people like him very much. But yeah, let's continue to the next Warframe, Garuda. You will get her blueprint by completing the Vox Solaris quest. Additionally, you will get the components by farming Orb Valis bounties. For chassis, you will have to do Tier 1 bounties, for systems, you will have to do Tier 2 bounties, and for neuroptics, you will have to do Tier 3 bounties. You will have to complete each bounty tier 4 times or a couple more times, which is quite time consuming, but still, you also are farming other components and resources as well, so I would argue it's not that bad. Garuda is a Warframe that focuses on healing your allies and also slashing the enemies, like literally. Absolutely amazing to play with her, and she is kind of a nuker as well, so if you want to clear a room and see a lot of numbers, she is your girl. But yeah, let's continue to the next Warframe. Hildrin. Hildrin is a Warframe I will always misspell for some reason. You can get the blueprint for her from Little Duck for 5k Vox Solaris standing, and the components, on the other hand, come from the Exploiter Orb bounty, which you will have to complete about 4 times, maybe more. Now, this bounty is quite long, so it can get boring quite quickly, and you also need the diluted Thermia to even start the bounty, so yeah, I would say that it is quite expensive and hard to do this bounty. It is not fun to farm Hildrin. But when it comes to playing her, Hildryn is known to be one of the support Warframes that gives a lot of energy to all the players, all the allies, and also is an amazing Warframe to survive. She can survive anything because of her massive amount of shields. She also is a bit different, she doesn't have an energy pool, she just has shields, and every ability is focused on shields. Is that good or bad? Well, many people have many opinions. Zaku is the Warframe you will get the blueprint for after you complete the Heart of Deimos quest. In addition, you can get the Neuroptics from Tier 2 Deimos bounties, systems from Tier 4 Deimos bounties, and chassis from Tier 5 Deimos bounties. You'll need to complete each tier for about 9 times until you get all the components, and Zaku is quite well known to also require materials from very freaking grindy places, such as the Vox Solaris bounties. So yeah, welcome to hell if you're trying to get them. When it comes to his or their gameplay, Zaku is an amazing Warframe for armor stripping, crowd control, damaging the crowd, everything pretty much. He is an all-out good Warframe. So yeah, I do recommend you try to get him at least once. Caliban. Caliban's blueprint can be obtained from the market for 50,000 credits, and his components from Narmer bounties. To unlock the Narmer bounties, you will first need to do the New War quest though, and after that they will be unlocked for the Plains of Eidolon and the Orvalis. The chance to get the components in the bounties is about 8% towards the last stages, so yeah, you will have to complete around 12 to 18 Narmer bounties in total to get all the components. It is a long grind and it does get a bit boring at the end, but in my opinion it is not that bad to farm them. But again, the consensus in the community is that it is a total utter nightmare due to being so boring. When it comes to gameplay, Caliban is okay. He doesn't really have any good abilities, he doesn't do a lot of damage, but he does do a bit of crowd control, I guess. In my opinion, Caliban is a good-looking Warframe, but his looks don't complement his gameplay. And now the last Warframe you can get from the bounties, Gyre, which you can get from Zariman bounties. You can get her Neuroptics from Tier 1 bounties, her chassis from Tier 2 bounties, and her systems from Tier 3 bounties, and the blueprint from Tier 4 or 5 bounties. You'll have to do these bounties on each stage for about 4, 5 or maybe 6 times, and I would say farming her is quite hard. But anyway, when it comes to gameplay, Gyre is an absolute delight to play. She does a lot of damage, crowd control, she boosts critical damage and critical chance, and oh my god, if you like to see big numbers, just play with Gyre. She is so good with it. But yeah, that is now pretty much it for the Bounty Warframes. Let's now continue to the Syndicate Warframes. Syndicate Warframes are Warframes that require you to buy the components of and the blueprint from specific syndicates. For example, let's start with Lavos. Lavos is quite easy to get. You can get his blueprint and components at different levels of your trust level with the Entrati from the Father for 25,000 Entrati standing in total. It is quite easy to get him since you will level up your trust level with the Entrati eventually, but hey, it is still quite a lot of work. I'd say getting him is quite hard. When it comes to gameplay, Lavos focuses on spreading absolute plague and chaos on the battlefield. He has no energy, so the mods that boost abilities and energy and stuff like that work a bit differently with him, but the consensus in the community is that Lavos is actually an amazing Warframe to play. He is fun, he doesn't require energy, and he is very good. The second Warframe is Baruch, and you can get all his components and his blueprint from Little Duck for 20,000 Vox Solaris standing. The blueprint is quite expensive for casual players as well, needing toroids, so it is not that easy to get, but also not such a nightmare. I'd say it's quite hard to get him due to having to progress through all the standing obstacles, but the consensus in the community is that Vox Solaris is utter nightmare. When it comes to Baruch's gameplay, he is an amazing melee Warframe, and in reality I never played him that much, so I don't really know what he does. I just know that the people that play him are extremely fond of him, like extremely. So yeah, listen to them. And now the next Warframe is Grendel, who is a beast of a Warframe, for which you will suffer pretty much. Farming him up is an absolute nightmare for every new player who wants to get him. Before you can get him, you have to complete every mission on the star chart, which is quite time consuming. You can get the blueprint for him on the market for 35,000 credits and his components by buying the Europa locators at any relay that has syndicates on it. I recommend going to the one on Earth. There you will be able to buy Europa locators from the Arbiters of Hexes for Vitus Essence, so you also need to play the arbitrations, which will lead you to special hard missions on Europa, which will get you the Grendel components at the end. I've seen some community members raging out at this and buying him with platinum at the market instead, so yeah, it is more than a nightmare to get him. But does such a nightmare of a grind justify his gameplay? I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it doesn't. But you can transform in a ball, which is quite amazing. He is a nice support Warframe and also survives a lot because of his massive energy pool, health pool, and also armor. Styanax is another Warframe you will need to farm up other resources to buy everything, his blueprints and his components. Before you can get him, you will need to complete the Veilbreaker quest, which is currently at the end of the game, and you will be able to buy him from your friendly neighbor Chipper for some stock, which you can get by doing Cal's missions. And let me tell you, this is a lot of stock, about 4 weeks worth of grind, but it is worth it at the end if you ask me. Styanax is an amazing support Warframe and also deals such a huge amount of damage that it is not even funny. He also has a lot of survivability and yeah, I think that's kinda it. Anyways, he is like Excalibur, but better in my opinion. The next few Warframes can only be obtained through Dojo Tenno Lab, which is easy to do. You just need to research a few things and that is it. Usually you can only join a clan and they already have everything or they are researching it, so yeah, why not help and do some research? But yeah, let's go through the Warframes now. The first one is Banshee, and let me tell you, Banshee is one of the best Warframes for defense missions on the lower levels because she can breeze through them like crazy fast. She also has many crowd control abilities and damage enhancing abilities of her allies, so yeah, absolutely amazing. The second Warframe is Nezha. Nezha is a fast boy. His abilities focus on crowd control and survivability, which is absolutely amazing since this is what starting players usually need. The next one is Volt, and Volt is one of the classics and the rival of Gaus. I do not know why, but that's just how it is. Volt has amazing survivability with his abilities and also increased damage plus armor stripping, which is absolutely amazing in some missions. So yeah, he is great for defense, survival, everything pretty much. So yeah, quite good. And now the next Warframe is Zephyr. Zephyr is a good Warframe for just parkour in general and also crowd control. He has some amazing abilities. But anyways, I still don't like him that much. And now the last Warframe from the Clan Dojo Tano lab, Wukong. Wukong is the monkey frame. He is one of the best because he survives a lot and he is kind of a stupid Warframe as well, because you can just press a button and your clone will kill everything pretty much. So yeah, I hope DE nerfs him even more. He is the most used Warframe in Warframe, so yeah, 15% of the community uses him. 15%. I hate him. I absolutely hate him. But yeah, let's now continue to the quest Warframes. These Warframes are the ones that you will get through quests. Chroma Warframe Blueprint can be obtained by doing the new Strange quest. And when it comes to components, you will get them as you complete the junctions around the solar charts, specifically Uranus, Neptune and Pluto ones, which is not that hard. I will say that farming up Chroma is easy, since you will easily get him even when you don't want to farm him. But when you try to get him the second time, you will have to waste 50,000 standing for Samaris for him. Insane. Chroma is a Warframe that survives everything. He boosts his defense and damage output so much that I am surprised he is even alive right now, because he wasn't nerfed to the ground. Limbo and his blueprint and components can also be obtained from the Limbo Theorem quest, which is not that hard and is quite quick. If you want to get Limbo the second time though, you will have to sacrifice 25,000 Samaris standing to Cephalon Samaris on any relay. Yeah, first time is easy, second time is hard. But when it comes to gameplay, Limbo is probably one of the best Warframes for any mobile defense or defense mission, because he can just freeze enemies. Just freeze them. The only thing you need to really watch out for are the Eximus units, but yeah, you just have to kill them, it's not that hard. But yeah, let's now continue to the next Warframe, and that is Titania. Titania is a Warframe blueprint for which you can get by completing the Silver Glove quest. You will also get all the components for her this way, but the sad truth is that if you want to get her again, you'll need to get her components and blueprint from Cephalon Samaris at any relay for 75,000 Samaris standing. Is it worth it? Ask yourself that. Yeah, it's easy to get her the first time, but hard the second time. I'd say the difficulty to get her this time is Yoga, because, well, the ones who already completed the quest know. Anyways, when it comes to gameplay, Titania is one of the fastest Warframes in game because her abilities allow her to play like you're in Arcwing, which is absolutely amazing, and don't get me wrong, it is not the same as normal Arcwing. It's different, totally different. You're fast, easy to avoid attacks. Yeah, it's just amazing. Mirage is the best Warframe in the game, coming from a Mirage main, just behind Hydroid, I guess. You will get her blueprint and her components by completing the Hidden Messages quest. In addition, you can get her the second time by sacrificing 25,000 Samaris standing to, well, Samaris. Yeah, it is expensive, but in my opinion, worth it and easy to farm. Mirage has amazing abilities such as Eclipse, which multiplies your damage by insane amounts, She's also a great nuker and also amazing for, well, survivability because of her doppelgangers. And she also is great for meleeing everything and surviving a lot. And I'm a main of Mirage. I have a lot of things to say here, but let's continue. Let's now continue to the next Warframe, the last one, and that is Yareli. You will need to complete the Wave Rider quest for this blueprint. Additionally, you will have to research and buy the component blueprints from the Vent Kids Bash Lab, which you can find in any dojo. If you want to construct Yareli again, you'll need to waste 50,000 Samaras standing at any relay. And yeah, that is only for the blueprint. It is not that fun. I haven't really played Yareli since she came out that much, but I have to say that people that play her really like her, and people that don't really hate her, for some freaking reason. I also heard of one mystical freaking Yareli with 100 formas or something. I still don't know where, but I need to find it. Anyways, this is it for this video. Hopefully you liked how I presented all of the Warframes. I know I didn't give that much information for each Warframe because if I did, the video would be far longer than it is right now. The length of the videos I usually make is 5 to 10 minutes, but this one is a freaking hour long. My throat hurts and my voice is going to leave me soon, so if I don't make a video tomorrow, I'm very sorry. It just is what it is. I need to heal. Tell me down in the comments which Warframe is your favorite. My favorite is Mirage, specifically Mirage Prime. I know I didn't mention Prime Warframes in this video, but this is just the normal Warframes you can get video. The purpose of this video was actually to show people where to get all the Warframes the first and the second time. I know some of you want things for Helminth, and I understand you, that's why you need this. But anyways, it was also meant as an overview of every single Warframe, just in a longer video and a bit of my opinion. I don't really like sharing it because I don't main every single Warframe. I am very good with Mirage, but other Warframes, I would say I'm not that good. If you know every single Warframe there is, then why aren't you making content? Just saying. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, share, or maybe even subscribe, and also have a very nice day. Bye guys.